Climate denial on airwaves. UK's Ofcom faces accusations of laxity, while French regulator takes action. Are media outlets twisting the truth about climate change? Climate campaigners in the UK are sounding the alarm, accusing the media regulator, Ofcom, of turning a blind eye to what they see as blatant climate change denial on GB News and other outlets. The controversy revolves around instances where global heating was dismissed as the climate scam, and the government's policies were misrepresented, with claims of enforced veganism on the horizon. Since January 2020, Ofcom has received a staggering 1,221 complaints related to climate crisis coverage, yet not a single ruling has been made that the broadcasting code was breached. This is in stark contrast to the mere 2 breaches found since 2007, raising questions about the regulator's commitment to accuracy and impartiality. The campaign group Reliable Media has been particularly vocal, lodging over 50 complaints about GB News programs since March 2024. They argue that false statements about climate breakdown were either left unchallenged or not adequately balanced. Ofcom's response? To assess but not pursue any of these complaints, leading campaigners to believe that the regulator is effectively abandoning its accuracy rules on a matter of life and death. But here's where it gets controversial. While Ofcom seems hesitant to act, its French counterpart, Arcom, has taken a more assertive stance. In the last 2 years, Arcom has found 4 breaches of the broadcasting code related to climate crisis coverage. Notably, the right-wing channel CNews was fined €20,000 for a segment where a speaker dismissed climate change as a lie, a scam. GB News has countered these accusations by claiming that campaigners are politically motivated and aim to stifle public debate. However, a review of 18 complaints made by Reliable Media reveals instances where GB News hosts and guests made misleading statements. For example, host Ben Leo referred to global heating as the climate scam, and a guest on Nigel Farage's show downplayed global warming, claiming that a simple step outside would prove it wasn't an issue. The controversy doesn't end there. In November 2024, GB News host Leo Kerr suggested the UK government was moving towards enforced veganism, a claim that has been refuted by experts. Regular contributor Lewis Schaefer went even further, declaring in July 2024 that climate change is rubbish, and that it's a full-on war, rather than a cultural debate. These statements fly in the face of scientific consensus, as the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) has unequivocally linked the burning of fossil fuels to global warming. The IPCC, a collaboration of thousands of scientists, has its conclusions endorsed by 195 member countries, including the UK. Their message is clear. The window of opportunity to secure a livable future is rapidly closing, and rapid cuts in carbon emissions are essential. Ofcom's broadcasting code mandates that factual programs must not mislead audiences, and that news must be reported accurately and impartially. It also requires alternative viewpoints to be represented when program presenters express their opinions on controversial topics. Interestingly, Ofcom's guidance notes state that the scientific principles behind anthropogenic global warming are broadly settled. Richard Wilson, director of Reliable Media, argues that while individuals are free to hold opinions, media outlets have a responsibility to uphold truth and accuracy. He believes that Ofcom's leniency on this issue is a dangerous precedent, especially given the high stakes of climate change. Ofcom defends its approach, citing the right to freedom of expression and the need for robust debate. They assert that broadcasters can include controversial opinions, as long as they comply with the code. However, this stance has not gone unchallenged, with campaigners pointing to the French regulator's actions as proof that stronger measures are both possible and necessary. The debate rages on, with GB News standing by its coverage and accusing campaigners of attempting to silence dissent. Meanwhile, Arcom in France has been more proactive, declaring 4 breaches of its broadcasting code related to climate change since 2023. In addition to the fine imposed on CNews, Sud Radio was warned for programs that contradicted the scientific consensus on climate change, demonstrating a failure to uphold honesty. Arcom's deputy director, Pauline Combardit-Blassel, emphasizes the importance of scientific consensus, stating that they intervene when it is not referenced in disputed segments. Eva Morel, from the French campaign group Quota Climat, highlights the danger of blurring the line between facts and opinions. She argues that sowing doubt about climate science undermines trust and endangers lives by obstructing necessary climate action. So, is this a case of media freedom or misinformation? The debate continues, leaving the public to question the reliability of their news sources. Should regulators take a firmer stance against climate change denial? Or is this a matter of protecting free speech? Share your thoughts below.